and it's at that crunch. It's at that crunch point in the game now. It's at that crunch point in the game now where Rockets need to make a decision. Do they go full court press? I'd suggest yes at this point. They're going to need to do something to upset the balance here, and the full court press would seem logical. We'll see what the coach has drawn up and see what X's and O's they execute on.
So here we go back into it. Here's Champion. Foul is called. Apologies if you're just coming back to us now. Slight issue with the stream, but we're back, we believe. Baines. Pinnock to the left hand, rebounded by Turner Jr. Chingombe down low. Kulu, and the foul is called again. Foul called on number 8, Dixon this time. 2 shots to come for Diankulu. Substitution checking in Tonawasi into the game. Pearson looks to be getting stripped off and ready to step onto the floor also. Diankulu on the line. 14 points, 19 rebounds. Diankulu misses the first. Has he made a free throw today? On the stat sheet he says no. He needs this one. And he misses the second.
In the 14-point game, 5.5 on the clock.
Baines down low. LaFile. Offensive foul called. Van Turner Jr. stands his ground. Turner Jr. hits the deck. Referee calls offensive foul. Matt Johnson calling for a flop.
Here is the full court press that I mentioned. See how Warriors continue to take this full court pressure. Probably want to get the ball in the hands of Pearson or Turner, the 2 strongest ball handlers of the team, to find a way out of the potential traps.
Coaches bellowing instructions, players bellowing instructions across the floor. Almost like a matchup diamond press here, almost. But 2 players flat on the opposite end of the floor for the Warriors. And 2 players matched up here. Ben Dixon will try and force the trap. But Van Turner Jr. helps to break the press easy, get it over the half. The Warriors break that. Set up now. 3-2 zone. Oh, what a pass. Van Turner Jr. can keep it in play inside. Travel violation called, and the Rockets will get the ball back. I can say, quite honestly, Diankulu is shattered. He needs a break. Champion, transition 3. Big time 3 from Lewis Champion.
They needed that.
Vital moment, correct. Vital moment for that shot. Now an 11-point game. Here is Pearson. Powell. Diankulu. Turner Jr. double teamed inside. Diankulu bounce pass. Knocked out of bounds. Shot clock violation called. Rockets will get it again. Champion. Lefile. Backing down Torre Jabi. Nice hands from Turner Jr. Pops it away from the possession of Sam Tolawasi, and that is a foul now as Ben Dixon jumps upon Turner Jr. 2 shots to come. Teal foul trouble for the Reading Rockets. And with 4 minutes and 20 odd remaining in this game, Ben Dixon is done in this game. 5th personal foul, Joe. The captain, he'll head to the bench. Things aren't looking good right now for the Rockets. Team foul trouble halfway through this 4th, and the captain to the bench. But if you're not making your free throws as well.
Free throws win games. We've always been told that from an early age. Free throws win games, and although they're up 11, this game isn't over, and they do need to capitalise on these kind of shots.
Turner Jr. makes the second. .12-point game. Champion. To the left hand. Strong for 2. Lewis Champion. 13 points personal now. Powell steps out of bounds. And the press does work.
It's just what Reading need. They're not giving up, Tahir. They're not giving up.
They just won't go away, as they say. Here's Champion. Lefile mid-range. Back of the ring. Out of bounds. Warriors ball. Welcome back. If you just joined us, we had issues with the connection, and hopefully you've now found the game once again. We're live at Gateway College for NBL Division 1 action here. Reading Rockets hot on the heels of the Warriors. There's Baines. Need to break this press, or at least compose themselves when they get over the half if the Warriors want to maintain this lead. Turner Jr. Torre Jabi sets the screen inside to him. Mid-range, Torre Jabi. Ball bobbles around. Baines. Baines tries to find Lefile. Nice work from the Warriors, and then we'll get the ball back. Substitutions checking into the game. Pat Chingombe will replace number 9, Carl Pearson. Powell almost traveled and turned over. Rockets possession. (57-49). 2 minutes 50 left to play. Champion. Bounce pass to Lefile. Oh, that's a walk, ref. Out of bounds call. Baines. Nice pass to Lefile. Torre Jabi tries to block him. Lefile won't be denied this time. 15 points, 12 rebounds for the Reading Rockets big man. Chingombe. Diakulu for 2. Champion. Baines leaves Van Turner Jr. in the air, skips it out. Champion. Pinnock. Tolawasi. Lefile to the rack. Diakulu comes up with his 20th rebound of the game. Turner Jr. throws it up. Powell tries to keep it in play. Jazz Baines. Nice work from Chingombe. Pat Chingombe, body on the line. Turner Jr. Diakulu for 2. raises the roof off the building again. The Leicester Warriors in fine form.
Wow.
Making it happen.
That's a statement jam right there.
59-51 the score. Timeout called by the Reading Rockets. Joe, the Warriors, are they going to do it? 1 minute 36 on the clock. And I believe, apologies, the score is 61-51.
I've seen enough basketball to know that this one isn't over yet, Tahir, so I'd hate to call it, but Warriors certainly in a commanding position now after that dunk and that turnaround fast break. But anything can happen.
Anything can happen. A lot of time in basketball. Anyway. Well, it's Warriors to lose at this moment in time.
Absolutely.
As I said, as we noted earlier on, they've had zero bench points. Right? A couple players, still 0 bench points, right? But not that the players haven't had minutes, you know. Dear Riley's had just under 6 minutes. I mean, Willan, 11 minutes 33. Pearson's had 9 minutes. Ellis Haggett has had 6 minutes as well. Alan Slazer, the only player not to really get into the game, but actually, out of all of those players on the bench right now, if anyone was going to score, probably Alan Slazer. But he's not played. Pak Chingombe started the game. He's got 0 points. 30 minutes in the game with 0 points. 3 assists, 2 steals. But it's the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet that Pak Chingombe's done today.
The intangibles.
The intangibles. Ball into play. Here's Champion. Baines needs this. Money. Jazz Baines.
Huge shot. Huge shot.
Big shot. Rockets need to stop. Here's Powell now. Needs to get the ball over. Diankulu driving. Diankulu to the rack. Torre Jabi keeps it. Offensive board. Chingombe. They'll use the clock. Turner Jr. finds Powell. Shot clock winding down. Powell. Foul is called, and he jacked that up, by the way. He jacked that up.
Should be a shooting foul.
I think it was a shooting foul also. Oh, team fouls and 2 shots to come. Holding foul called. Third personal.
It was on the floor. It's a team foul. Contact was before the actual. Was it? Yes. So the table's referred now. We had a conversation about it. Sure.
Referees table and coaches having a word about that. They Warriors won a three free throw opportunity there.
Yeah, you can see both sides of the argument. He launched the shot from behind the arc, but referees think the foul happened just before the act of shooting, so it's a tricky one.
Powell makes it count. 63-54. Timeout called. Substitutions will be coming in shortly. And there is 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining on the clock. I personally think that the Warriors will edge this one out today, Joe. And I think, I know there's a lot of time left. I just think that the Rockets have been way too inconsistent today for them to be able to get back in this game. Commentators curse, of course. That could be my famous last words.
Yeah, I think that final play that we just witnessed, that shot from behind the arc that got and the foul, making those 2 free throws has just put Warriors that little bit too far ahead potentially. Reading came off the back of that big 3, and they had the energy and they had the impetus to hopefully get a stop, but they weren't able to do that. I think that was a clutch play right there, what we've just seen in the last 10 seconds. It might just prove, the mountain might just prove too big to climb for Reading at this point, but they've got the 3-point shooters. I know the stats don't show it. They're what, 2 for 23?
They're now 4 for 25. Sorry.
Wow, turn that around a bit. But they've got shooters, and that they're going to need some hot shots behind the arc to turn this one around. So it'll be interesting to see what X's and O's the coach has drawn up out the back of this timeout. This is a pivotal play right here.
Let's see what Coach Matt Johnson has drawn up.
Looks like some form of box, dual screen away. The guards.
Baines through the elevator.
Shut the gap.
Baines kicks it out. Pinnock. Well defended this from the Warriors. Champion. Back to Baines. They've got to get a quick look here. Clock winding down. Baines is going to drive, and the foul is called. Foul is called on number 15, Torre Jabi. That's his second personal. And Pinnock, baseline. Baines. Oh, nice hard dribble, step back to Tolawasi. Nice dump off for two. Pearson gets it in. Chingombe. He's torn a trap here. Champion now for two. There's the full court pressure working now. Here's Turner Jr. bursting forward. And the foul is called eventually. 2 shots now for Turner Jr. Foul is called the number 4, Reece Pinnock. .43 seconds on the clock. Turner Jr. on the line. This is the first free throw. He's 4 for 8 today. 50% for him. Usually a lot more efficient than that. There's the second to go. 34 points total. 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Van Turner Jr.
Yeah, he's put in a real shift for the Warriors.
Baines, nice pass to the file. Turner Jr. now. Spinning, and the foul is called again. The Rockets, very, very, very disappointed with the no call there on the foul's way to the basket. Jazz Baines visibly disappointed. Matt Johnson visibly disappointed. And a 4th personal foul called now, I believe, on number 4, Pinnock. Van Turner Jr. back to the free throw line as the Rockets stop the clock once again. Six-point game. Turner Jr. There's one.
That's clutch.
And for the second. There it is, Van Turner Jr.
8-point game.
Need a quick look here, the Rockets. Champion has to let it go from deep, does so, rattles in and out. Lufaro drams it for 2. And the floor wiper will be called to the floor because it's slippy. A lot of sweat on the floor. .17 seconds on the clock. Substitution checking in, Delaney Powell. We'll check into the game. (66-60). Warriors need to get this ball over. Full court pressure from the Rockets, Joe.
How long on the game clocks are here?
17 seconds.
Not long.
Not long at all.
A quick stop and a 3, and we've got a game on our hands.
And now ball into play here. Chingombe, can he get it in? He does get it in. Pearson finds Van Turner Jr., gets it over to Powell. Here we go, Powell is fouled. Meshach with foul. will send Delaney Powell to the free throw line. Substitution. K Live will check into the game. And that's the 5th personal foul for Meshach Lefile. That's the 2nd player fouled out the game for the Reading Rockets today. 24, or should I say 25 total team fouls. Powell on the free throw line. And 9 seconds on the clock. Powell makes the first. Has made all his points today from the free throw line.
Has he? It's easier to make them when you've got a 6-point cushion with 9 seconds to go. The pressure isn't quite there.
Oh, misses the second though.
Curse.
Yeah. Turner Jr., champion. And the basket is good.
Good on the buzzer.
But that is it, ladies and gents. The Leicester Warriors win. They take victory at home against the Reading Rockets. A rough and ready performance at the end of this game. Not a particularly pretty one, but the Warriors will take it. A phenomenal performance from the new signing to the Leicester Warriors. Louis Diankulu, 18 points, 20 rebounds. 36 points for Van Turner Jr. alongside 6 rebounds, 4 assists. LG Tory Jabi putting in the intangibles, as we said. 8 points, 9 rebounds for Tory Jabi. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists for Delaney Powell. Patrick Gombe gets 4 assists. And for the Reading Rockets today, 17 points, 13 rebounds. Meshach Lefile found out the game. 12 points for Jazz Baines. 8 points, 8 rebounds for Tolawasi. 15 points for Champion. And 6 points for Reese Pinnock. Both teams poor shooting performance, both shooting 33%, 32% for the Rockets. But of course that 3-point percentage stat line for the Rockets today, 4 for 26 from 3. It was not pretty at all for them from behind the arc. And also, as mentioned, you know, there's no head coach here today with them, but of course Matt Johnson stepping.
Yeah, not the smartest game of basketball from both teams. A few questionable decisions at times, and a few, I think, quite a high proportion of turnovers and misses in the paint. It was sloppy at times, but amongst all that, there was some high quality plays. So it was inconsistent. And yeah, Warriors did a great job really overall, just to keep the intensity when it mattered in the 4th quarter. Rockets kept themselves within touching distance throughout the whole game. They were never quite. Basketball is a game of runs, and they just weren't quite able to make the run that they needed to get themselves back in level footing with the game. But a commendable effort from the Rockets, and yeah, Warriors did what they needed to do to get the W. So
and that's it.
Interesting game.
Their second win of the season puts it on the board. The wins are vital for them in their relegation battle at this moment in time. The Leicester Warriors, and as you mentioned, a great performance. As we mentioned already, great performance Van Turner Jr. and Lou Boy Louis Diankulu. Well, that's it from us here at the Gateway College. My name is Tahir Hadja, alongside my partner in crime today, Joe Scarborough, the Warriors live stream team. Thank you very much for joining in with us. Warriors with the win. We will see you next time.
Thank you and good night.